All right, my friends, thanks for joining me tonight. I'm going to show you how to make these adorable treat holders. These are the Hershey Nugget treats. The dies are from My Favorite Things. This stamp is from Doris, and I also may be using some stamps from Your Next Stamp. But first, let's look at the die. And the reason I say that is because the first time I cut this, I didn't get it. So you'll have to excuse the tape. But this die is the one that actually cuts the tag. And when you're cutting it out, when you're wanting to cut the front, you're going to nest this inside and tape it in place for your front. When you're ready for the back, when you're ready to do the back, you're going to use this die and you're going to nest it in. And of course, you're going to cut the same number of fronts as you are for the backs. Now, this die has the feature of cutting a frame that will go around the Nugget pouch. Now, here's what's cool about it. When it cuts out, the scrap right here is the perfect size for cutting the topper. So what I did was when I ran it through my die cutting machine, I nested with the topper that I wanted for the tag inside, and I cut them both at the same time. It saved me a ton of time and energy for that matter. So that's how they are. Now, the little piece, this little piece, actually cuts out the wrapper for the candy itself. So let's go ahead, and these may or may not line up perfectly. Nobody's really going to notice that part. So if you don't get them perfect, you don't have to worry. But you can buy these little treat nugget holders from My Favorite Things. And all you're going to really do, it's so much fun to do this, I'm telling you. You can sit in front of the TV and knock out a whole bunch of them if you so desire. I like to decide which side of the paper, in this case it's double-sided paper, is going to show on the outside of the nugget. 2 pieces of strong tape. Take the little darling candy bar, which I have been good. I have not eaten a single one. I am very proud of myself. Okay, so you're just going to wrap that around, bring it in, pull it taut, give it a little bit of a, just press there with your finger, and you're going to put that in your container, and you're going to do a few more of these, same thing, a little bit of tape. You can make them all 3 the same. You can have them all different. Honestly, you're only limited by your imagination, as with most stamping projects. So let's do one more of these candies. And it doesn't even matter if, like in this case, it didn't die cut straight. You're not going to really notice it. So there's the tape once again. And so it looks like that from that side. So the next thing you're going to do is decide which piece you would like for the front cover, and for the back I've cut some pattern paper as well as some solid color cardstock for my project today, and it's really fun. I love doing this. You don't necessarily have to have cardstock. Regular scrapbooking paper will work. it's just a treat. You know, the kids or whomever you give it to is just going to tear it apart anyway. So I wouldn't, you know, fuss too much. First thing we're going to do is we are going to use some really strong tape or liquid adhesive, whichever you desire. And we're going to just go around this tag with the tape. This little piece was a little too wide. I can also cut it off. You know what? Let me try that again. Apparently I can't cut very straight, so just need a... I do have some 1/8 of an inch score tape somewhere. I just do not know where it is at this second, so we're going to just make do with what we got on our desk. So that's the front. Then you're going to decide which one of these you want for the back, and I want this one for my back. And just like with the first one, I'm going to add the heavy-duty tape, score tape. I've joked through the years that you could attach a toddler to the wall and it'd take them 3 days to get down. Of course you wouldn't do that, but it's really strong stuff. So, okay, literally rounding the corners here, making sure to avoid this because it is perforated, so that you can get the candy right out. So I'm going to go ahead and take the score tape off of this piece, I hope. You know, when you're filming, things don't always work out the way you planned. And I am glad that I finally have learned how to mostly edit videos. I do use Windows Movie Maker. You can still find it as a download. It's not easy to find, but you can do it. So once you got that tape off, you're going to drop your candy in. And in my case, you're going to get this little rogue piece of backing out of your way. So far, so good. Now, even though there's tape on this, I want to be sure this isn't going to come apart. This is really overkill, honestly. You don't have to do this if you don't want. Let's get the backing off of this piece as well. Now remember, if these two pieces don't line up exactly, it doesn't matter because you're still going to be able to get to the candy simply by opening this tab. So here we go. You can start from the top or the bottom. It does not matter. And take your time and sandwich this together. And as you can see, it's already shaping up to be just stinking adorable. Now, if you want to frame this, you certainly can. I'm going to be using this orange piece, but I need to get some liquid adhesive to do that. I'm just going to take my glossy accents and actually use it as glue. And just put a very little bit of glue around this piece. You really don't want it to ooze out because it's glossy accents. It will dry and show, so we don't want that, obviously. Now, if it squeezes out on you, just take a baby wipe and clean it up. So you're simply gonna frame this just like that. And it's so cute. Now this is where you can add a topper if you'd like. You can mix and match your colors. I like the green. Isn't that cute? This just, the other reason you can do this is it really reinforces that opening at the top. You can do this to the front and back or just the front. That is up to you. Hold that in place for just a moment. I have this sheer gingham, this sheer polka dot ribbon. This is blue and purple. And for this one, I'm simply going to take a piece of my purple ribbon. I'm going to hold it together so it's basically got a loop at the top. Thread the loop through. Bring these two ends through the middle. Pull it up. You don't have to pull it too tight, but tight enough. And if you want, you can tie a bow, or you can just knot it, whichever you like. I am going to tie a bow. I can never do this on camera very well, so if it's crooked, it's crooked. As you can see, it's not perfect, but it's all right. Okay. Going to trim the ends off. Now, I have a few little bunny choices that I stamped earlier. These are all from my favorite things. This is called Sparkles the Bunny, or Sprinkles the Bunny. I am not sure if my favorite things actually still carries this particular stamp set or not. I looked earlier and I did not see it, but that does not mean that they don't have it or that you can't find it somewhere else, because of course you can. That's why, you know, we have Etsy and eBay, and there are many stamp sets that you could use that are spring, like Mr. Ducky here. Mr. Ducky is from Doris. I think he's too sweet. Now this stamp set comes with little accessories, and in this case you can make it into a girl bunny by putting it down her ear, or make it a boy bunny by putting it under his chin. And this little bow looks like a little tie. Just precious. I did color this with Copic markers. Now I'm going to be a little bit on the generous side, and as you can see, I actually cut this with my brother's Scan and Cut, and it was a brand new mat, so it peeled some of the paper backing off, which is not a big deal. Just get it out your way. It's going to be taped, it's going to be glued down, so nobody's really going to notice. And you're going to put this wherever you want it. You can put him up high, you can put him up low. I'm going to put him kind of in the center. Now, since this is liquid glue, you do want to hold it into place for just a few moments. Literally, maybe 5-10 seconds. Don't go overboard. You'll be fine. And if you wanted, you could add, and he's still wet, so if he's not quite straight, you can pull him up and straighten him out. He was a little too crooked for my taste. You could even put something a little heavier on top if you wanted. You can give him a couple of Easter eggs down here if you wanted. I have some little bitty ones. You can have him holding an egg. You can have some eggs at his feet. Too cute, too cute. So I'm going to leave that off. But that is what the treat looks like when it's finished. Once again, you could literally cut all the pieces and do these assembly style. And as you can see, that's exactly what I plan to do today. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comment section. The links to the products will be down below. And as usual, please thumbs up my videos, subscribe to my channel, and share these videos on your social media. Stamp happy and be a blessing above all. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.